Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are in the 2018 Chevrolet Tahoe RST. I wanted to do a little bit more of an in-depth review on this today. I've had this truck for a week and I've really enjoyed it. This thing is a blast. It's expensive, but you gotta pay to play, and this is a really, really enjoyable package. You can hear the Borla exhaust back there. First of all, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the RST. This is a trim level for the Chevy Tahoe. It includes bigger wheels, 22-inch wheels, large Brembo brakes, magnetic ride control, and it has the highly desirable 6.2-liter V8, as well as the 10-speed automatic transmission out of the Camaro ZL1. Some other things, some other options, like the Borla exhaust, and of course you get kind of a blacked out badging on all the badges on the front and the side and the rear. And overall, in this white, it makes for a really good looking truck, in my opinion. These wheels, although they're huge, they look good, and I just like the overall appearance of this. Let's show you guys out back here. Still retains pretty impressive towing capacity. I believe it's around 8,500 pounds. You've got a third row, which is easily raised and lowered with these buttons. The only downside is not a lot of room in the back to put stuff once you raise that row, but I guess that's why you get a Suburban. You can see here, decent amount of room back there for people. This is really convenient. And you got a button to automatically close the trunk. So I want to kind of go over all the performance stuff a little bit later in this review. But for now, let me just show you around the inside a bit. So this has the individual seats here, not the bench seat, which I think is kind of nice. It gives you a little bit more space and keeps the kids apart from fighting, I guess. Lots of places to store things, cup holders, rear seat entertainment, climate control. You've got a standard plug outlet and a little cigarette lighter port. Tons of legroom and space back here. Really, I mean, you're not hurting for room in these Tahoes. They are massive. And with the rear seats down, you've got a bunch of capacity back there. Pretty attractive looking interior in my opinion. Materials, leathers, plastics aren't the highest quality, but that's how it's always been. There's no surprises here. You've got just it's well bolted together, no rattles or anything, and it's nice enough, I think, for what it is. So we've got memory seats on the side, auto roll up down windows, really comfortable seats in this, nicely bolstered. They keep you in for the performance and level of cornering this truck has. We've got this is a four-wheel drive one, so you've got 4 high, 4 low, 2-wheel drive, and auto, which is what I'm going to be leaving it in for this review. You get just a little bit more grip, a little bit less understeer. Massive center console here, and wireless charging, which ironically doesn't fit a larger iPhone. So just something to note there. Lots of cup holders, some more charging ports and USB ports, heated, cooled seats, all the good stuff. Rear climate control, and of course, standard Chevy infotainment here. You can hear that Borla exhaust. Let me show you guys under the hood. There's that 6.2 V8. It's pushed way back into the engine bay. This truck actually has pretty good weight distribution with a little over 51% to the front axle, and it handles quite well because of that. You can also see something exclusive to the RST package is the blacked out front badge and body color painted grille. Pretty nice looking truck in my opinion. Overall, the aesthetic on this is quite impressive. It has a good curb appeal too. A lot of people have complimented this, just saying how they like the looks. Decent reverse camera. Again, not super high res. or high quality, but it does the job. Let's take this thing for a drive. And of course, heads-up display, which I'm just going to turn down for the purposes of this video. Give you guys an opportunity to hear that exhaust. So starting off, let's start off with the brakes on this truck. These massive Brembos do a really, really good job bringing this thing down to a stop. Not only that, but pedal feel is fantastic. I mean, this feels less like a truck brake pedal and more just like a sports car brake pedal. It's pretty awesome. It's firm. It's very, very powerful. You have more bite than you would ever really need for an emergency braking situation. And they really, really do a good job bringing this truck down from a stop. So, high marks on the brakes. Let's go to the suspension. The magnetic ride can sometimes be a little bit busy, but it's not uncomfortable and it's not distracting. It is a sophisticated ride quality. It really kind of stiffens this truck up and makes it just feel, it feels nice. It doesn't feel loose and wallowy and floppy on the road. It's tight. It still allows for a little bit of body roll and dive under braking and cornering, but overall it does a really good job just controlling this truck's character over bumps, just driving normally, and around the corners. This thing is actually pretty fun to toss around the bends. And combined with the drivetrain on this, it makes for a really fun, I guess you could call this a sport truck. It's a really compelling package. So once we get going here and get past this Prius, I will show you what the 6.2 liter is all about. So as you can hear there, really nice, quick, smooth shifts from this 10-speed. This is the shared transmission between Ford and GM, but each manufacturer has unique calibrations. GM has done their own gearing in this, and of course their own software calibration, and it makes for a really, really nice transmission. There's no jerkiness, it's very smooth, and it works so well. You wouldn't even really know it's a 10-speed. It does exactly what you need it to do. It gives you nice downshifts when you need it on demand. There's no delay, no lag. It's a really good gearbox. And as a result, it gives you nice close gearing, and it really can keep the revs low for better fuel economy. This week I haven't had a problem averaging 18 miles to the gallon in combined driving. And we get on the highway and you can get over 20. So it's a pretty fuel efficient package with the new direct injection on this engine. It works quite well. Let's see if we can get it under some power here. Merging onto this highway, we've got just plenty of power. This thing is really healthy. 0 to 60, I believe, is around under 6 seconds on this Tahoe. That seems very believable to me. It's kind of strange looking down at the tach and not seeing a rev limiter, but as a result, that needle just gets pegged, and it's kind of cool to watch. Still, you know, pretty standard at Tahoe interior in here. There really aren't any changes for the RST. I feel like just a little bit of handling around this corner give us an opportunity to dive in on those brakes. There's just a little bit of nosedive, but it's nice. It still makes you feel like you're in a truck and respects the weight of this thing. It's a really good handling package. It's awesome. Up here we'll be able to push it a little bit around the corner, and I'll show you guys what it's like. This also has cylinder deactivation, so you can go into V4 mode when you're coasting or just cruising at very light throttle, and that saves a little bit of gas as well. No traction issues in four-wheel drive auto. Even rear-wheel drive has a good bit of grip. This has kind of a torque vectoring rear limited slip differential, and it does a really good job giving this truck some power out of corners. A little bit of tire squeal, but pretty good mechanical grip on this. You can really feel the suspension kind of stiffen up over a corner, and surprisingly, this truck actually has pretty good steering feel. It's a little bit heavier than you would expect, but you do get a lot of communication out of the wheel, and it feels nice. It's maybe a little bit heavier than something in this class would normally be, and a little heavier than necessary, but it gives it a sporty feel, and it's not, it doesn't feel fake or overly unassisted, which, if that makes sense. It's a really nice steering rack, and it does a good job just kind of communicating what the front tires are doing. So high marks for that. Otherwise, one complaint I had, which may just be general, just Tahoe character, is the climate control. You can't hear it now on the highway, but the climate control kind of has a little bit of a whistle to it. And I've fiddled around with the vents all this week, and it's just a little bit annoying. That's really one of my few gripes with this truck. Otherwise, everything's been really nice. It's just a great truck to drive. It's got nice visibility. These mirrors are a little bit small, but with a blind spot sensors, they do a pretty good job giving you an idea what's back there. And you've got some nice other features like this little secret compartment to hide things, and there's just a lot to like in this. So, and these are a little bit cheaply made and rattly, and just who knows how long they'll hold up to the test of time, but that's just kind of the way it is. Let's take a few more corners in this. As you can see over those bumps, I mean, the ride's just a little bit busy, but it's not bouncy, it's not uncomfortable. I wouldn't even call it stiff, it's active. There we go. Now we can get a pull. I love this powertrain. It is fantastic. It's super fun to drive. The exhaust sounds phenomenal. I would definitely swing for the Borla on this package. It's an option, and this truck it's pricey. It's $78,000, and but I think it's pretty well worth it. It's a really, really nice driving package. The magnetic ride control and the brakes and the engine, they all work together to create this very, very nice setup. And I think without any individual piece, it would be a little bit incomplete. And the exhaust kind of brings that all together. There's no drone on the highway, and it just kind of gives you a subtle burble. And you really want to be able to hear that 6.2 if you go for it. I've spent a lot of time driving this week. I've had a ton of press cars, but this has been one of my favorite ones to drive so far. And my girlfriend also absolutely loves this thing, so that's probably part of it. But other than that, let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. We're gonna pull off here and just do one more quick walk around, but I think that'll wrap up the review. Thanks again for watching and all the support recently. Let me know if you guys have anything else, any questions, stuff like that. And we'll be posting some more videos on this and some other cars pretty soon. Also, pretty decent turning radius in parking situations. No problems navigating this around a parking lot. All right, guys, that's it on this one. Really, really nice truck. Let's turn it off here. Get a little bit of a beeping from the rear seat reminder. Cool. High marks from the RST. I'd rock one for sure. Ooh. Too bad they're filthy dirty right now, but these Boral exhaust tips look really nice when they're clean. They're just polished, clean black, and they really match the rest of the truck well. Subtle, but effective. Take care, guys. See you in the next video.